Okay, so we're back on with Project Max. So this is a Yamaha 550. It's an XJ550 Maxim. And we tried the compression. I was able to test the two outside ones, but this compression tester can't really get to the inner ones. But the compression reading was high on this. So I've got to get the cover off the top so I can get to check the shims, check the clearance on the shims with feeler gauge, and then we'll take it from there. I've ordered an adapter for my compression testers because I've got this one, which is just a basic one, but I've got two more compression testers, but I haven't got the adapter for a 12mm spark plug hole. So I've ordered one of them, so I'll be able to check them properly. Right, got the left hand cover off here, and we're going to be turning this down here. This is 19mm to turn the cams, and I want to get the cam where the cam comes out directly opposite the shim, so that there's no pressure down on the shims. Then I can check the gap. So I've got my feeler gauge here. What I'm going to do is go through them all and write them all down so I can see what the gaps are and check them with the specs and everything. This is already mulled up there. When I took it off before, somebody had already manked this up a bit. But I've got a good quality adjustable spanner here that I can get on there. And I won't be putting any pressure on anyway because I've got the spark plugs out. We could just keep going round so you can see the cam coming round there. Just keep going. So at that is directly opposite the shim now. Let's see what the gap is, if there's any. And then what you do is you change the shims in here to create the gap that you need that's in the manual. and it's better to have a bigger gap than smaller. Apparently that'll your performance won't be as good, but it'll be safer and won't knacker things up. So really it wants to be between, so we want exhaust, because there'll be the exhaust valves on the exhaust side. These will be the intake ones. Exhaust, yeah, should be 0.16 to 0.20 millimeters. Well, that's no good. Right, let's write these down then. Right, I've been through all of the gaps and wrote all them down. So soon I'll have to try and fetch a shim out at a time and see what numbers on the shim and see what new shims I need to put in. I'm going to look down the barrels with my inspection camera. So we'll just get this on and check, see if there's any carbon build up in here. I don't know if you could see that on the screen. I've got, let's have a look. There's the piston, there's the arrow on it, and I can see the edges of the piston as well. But yeah, looks okay. So I'll just check them all like that. So I know that it's not a build-up of carbon that's giving a high reading on the compression. So what I'm up to now is getting the shims out. Now this is a way, there'll be loads of you saying you shouldn't be doing it like that. You get a special tool that screws down here and holds the bucket down while you take the shim out. That's how you're supposed to do it if you got the special tool. I haven't got one. I could order it because there's an auto jumble tomorrow, so I'm going to be going to that, see if I can get hold of some shims. So I haven't got time to wait for the part, but this is a way you could do it if you're careful. This is just a zip tie, and it's folded over at the end and just got some tape on to keep it double thickness, and you just turn this around till the cam pushes it down, pushes the valve out, and then you gently put that under and let the valve back up. It traps the cable tie in between the valve and the cylinder head and doesn't let the valve back up, so it means you can get these shims out. I know that's slightly dodgy and you've got to be gentle because you don't want anything to bend or anything, but that's how we're doing it. So I've had these shims out, so I'll just get this one out now. So I've just turned that round till that cam's pointing straight up opposite the shim, and I've got my zip tie trapped in there. Gently, as I said, just gently trap it in. So now hopefully we'll be able to get this shim out and check the size. The other two were 2.75. There we go. So I just use my tweezers to pull it out, and there we go, got that. And if the number's worn off like that one is, I just use my calipers to find out what size it is. So let's have a see. Let's see what size this is then, because there's no number there, it's worn away. So just switch that on, just check that it's at 0, yeah. That looks like it might be a 2.7. I think they go in 5s. So yeah, that could be a 2.7 look. 2.7. So we'll put that down. And then what I do is just turn it till it pushes back down on the shim. And then I can release the zip tie. And then on to the next one. So I'll get all them done and all wrote down. There we go. Okay, so I've got all them readings down. So now I can take this inside and do some calculations on the shims that I need. So I'll be able to have a search at the Auto Jumble. If I can't find them there, I'll have to order them off the internet. But that's good, we've got that sorted. So we've come into the micro workshop because I've got some things on order. I'm waiting for the shims, the valve shims, and I'm waiting for the adapter for checking the compression. So while we're waiting, one of the things I need is when I'm doing the synchronization of the carbs, when I'm setting the balancing up on it, I haven't got the tool. You need a special tool from Yamaha to plug some holes up, and they're quite hard to find, and they're just under £70 as well, and you only just use them at that time when you're doing it. So I found this on the internet. This is from, I think the site's XJ Bikes. I've got a visitor here, look. Tommy is always up to no good still. Won't be long before he's allowed out. Just got to have his second lot of vaccinations. So yeah, I'm going to make this tool. So I'll show you a close view of it. So we're going to get using the little metal lathe that I bought. It should do this a treat. Found in the parts that come with it, there is a little parting tool by the looks of it. So we'll give that a go. He has 1 minute of behaving himself and then half hour of going wild. Going around knocking everything off and scratching the hell out of our hands and feet. So here's a rubbish diagram of the tool you need. And this is the drawing that I'm going off, that I found. So this is the tool that I can make. All I have to do is put this brass bar in the lathe and turn them off to length, the different sizes that are in the diagram. I've already put threads on the end of this 3mm rod, and we've got washers and the rubber that we need as well. So let's get that turned up. So we need to get this parting tool in there. Hopefully I've got this tool at the minute. This is all shimmed up, so I'm hoping that this should end up about in the same place, which means I won't have to change the amount of shims that I've got. If you can hear any noise, it's Tommy wrecking the place. Oh yeah. So we've got the brass tube there. It's got nice square ends already, so I'm just going to leave the end as it is. And that can go all the way through and out the back of the lathe there. So I just need to mark that out. So what do I want? 208mm lengths, a 38mm length and a 16mm length. Let's try doing the longest ones first, shall we? Right, I can see that. You can't be here while I do this, pussycat. You're gonna have to move yourself. The cutter could probably do with sharpening, but it is cutting loads better. Right, so now we can face off this. That should be it. Nice. Lovely. That is spot on. 108. So there we go, job done. Got all them timed nicely up, and I just filed the ends just to take any rough burrs off. And the idea of this is on the cylinder head on the bike, it's got an opening through right from one side to the other to let gases through to the different valves to balance it up. It's supposed to help it a bit. Loads of bikes don't have this on it, but what this does is when I screw on here, when I put this right through, you screw this and it's squashing up these rubbers, and these will be inside. I'll thread it right through and then do this up, and what it'll do, it'll expand them rubbers and block the holes that it needs to block, ready for balancing it, for balancing the carbs. So that's what it's for. So we'll find out whether it works or not at the time when we do it.